We're taking shots before the video starts. Oh god, that's a lot. This is a double shot glass. There's no way this is a shot
I mean,
glass.
you're slightly more drunker than me.
I don't think so. I think you're underestimating how drunk you are. You excited for FNAF lore?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to learn?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Wait,
What?
so we're gonna learn FNAF lore?
Yeah.
Why'd you lock the door behind us?
Because Freddy Fazbear might show up and touch you.
No, I don't think I can escape. What have you done?
I lied. Put your clothes back on. We're doing FNAF lore.
Oh no.
Hold on, I didn't even do my intro. Drunk intro time, let's go. Live drunk intro. Hey, what's up guys? Dawko back
Let's do this, guys. Hello, everybody. It's Markiplier.
That's not his intro.
It
What
is.
it? No. Oh, but you made it sound weird. It's, hello everybody, my name is the Kingaplier, and today we're doing FNAF lore with special guest, Bones. Hello everyone, welcome to Drunk FNAF lore. We're already drunk, we're trying, I'm struggling.
You're drunk me. You're drunk me. Or you're more drunk than me.
Okay. Alright, so I was thinking about how I wanted to approach explaining this lore to Bones, and because there's two ways I can approach this, and it's like, one is the timeline way, and the other one is the game way. And honestly, I don't feel confident enough to explain the timeline of FNAF right now, so we're gonna go game by game. And I'm going to explain the lore. And I'm going to explain the lore, but I'm also going to kind of talk about some theories to help explain some of the lore, I guess. So there's going to be stuff here that's not 100% canonical or confirmed, but I'm still going to talk about it. Okay. Sorry. Before we get started, can you give me a rundown of the basics of FNAF that you know? Like, very quick summary version.
Editor, insert cricket noises. I know William Afton is purple guy.
Yeah.
And that he was in the Springtrap suit, and it got wet, and it locked him in it, and he got fucked up. And he was in the sewers for a little while.
What? He was in the sewers?
Wasn't he?
No, he wasn't in the sewers.
I know Baby is someone's daughter. Well, Baby killed someone's daughter, and that person somehow links back to William Afton because everything does. And then FNAF World apparently has suicide in it, which I thought was just a child game.
That's it? That's all you know?
Apparently Liberty Chica is a thing. And I think there's something about child souls.
That's it? That's all you know about FNAF?
It's been a while since
You don't know any other characters? Besides Liberty Chica, of course.
Who's the other Freddy who's like Rusty? What's his name? No, what's his name?
Rusty Freddy. What one? Like
Barry Fazbear? No, what's his name? He's like
what? I don't know what you're referencing or talking about. I'm genuinely confused. Like, do you mean like
Roberto? No. No, I'm trying.
Stop. Do you mean like Fredbear?
No.
Like Golden Freddy?
No, not him. I know Golden Fredbear.
Oh my god.
You gave me his name once and I thought it was stupid. He's like an obscure character. He's like
Ned Bear?
Maybe.
Ned Bear is not Rusty.
There's one that's like gray and red or something, I thought.
Lefty.
That's it.
He's not Rusty. But that's also not Freddy. That's Lefty. That's different.
Is Lefty more important to the lore than Sea Bonnies?
Yeah, actually, Lefty's extremely important to the lore. Okay.
Editor, insert clip of Homer Simpson saying, and, I don't want to know about Sea Bonnies. I don't want to know about Liberty Chica. I especially don't want to know about Fazgoo. And I'll be like eating the sandwich. I'm like, okay, lore's comprehensible. And I'm like, it sucks. This sucks. It's all Fazgoo. This fucking sucks.
Why do you keep saying editor? I edit my own videos.
I forgot.
Let's actually start now. So you know William Afton, but he's like the main bad guy.
Yeah, he was in the movie. He was the bad guy in the movie.
He was Matthew Lillard in the movie. But the movie is kind of a different canonicity, I guess. I don't know. The movie is weird. And what is his name? Jared or Garrett, the kid in the movie, they kept on showing the clips of him and you were getting mad. Every time I say FNAF lore, by the way, this is probably not going in the video, but I think of Maglore from Mystery of the Druids.
You can put that in the video.
It sounds like FNAF lore. Maglore. He dies, and then Detective Halligan loots his body.
Learning empathy from his travels.
Oh no, he's looting the body. He's stupid.
Chapter 1. Game
Chapter 1. Okay, I also want to preface that the games are kind of out of order in terms of the timeline, but we're not explaining the timeline version of events. I'm just explaining each game individually as lore. So there might be instances where I mention something in FNAF 1, and then when I talk about FNAF 2, we might go back to FNAF 1, but it's just because things connect. Because FNAF 2 is a prequel. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But anyway, so FNAF 1, Scott Cawthon's first game, was actually going to be his last game, if you didn't know that.
I know the lore behind that.
Because
he made really weird, like, Christian games. I saw. Like,
he did. He made like a Christian game.
I played and watched some of his stuff. The Gob Gob Gab Lab. He made the movie. The Gob
I don't
Gob
think
Gab
he
Lab.
did.
Look it up right now.
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
I don't know what that movie was called. It was like some critter or something.
It's the Glub. What is it?
Gob Gob Gab Lab.
Gob. Oh.
Holy fuck! Trying to spell this is gonna be horrible. Glub shit.
Glub shit. It's this. He didn't make this.
So no, he's in a movie that he made. Stravinsky in the Mysterious House. Scott Cawthon.
What? He wrote the gobble.
So
I didn't actually know that. That's something I didn't know.
I watched this movie.
He wrote this?
Yes, I watched
Why did
this.
he write this? Anyways, okay, whatever.
Detour complete.
Yeah, the side
Star Wars
quest.
detours.
The side quest is complete. But no, so yeah, he made a bunch of games like Chipper and Sons and all that. First Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a lot of different pieces of lore that are kind of in play in original FNAF, but the main aspects are the gameplay in particular is you're a security guard. You work the night shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The animatronic characters get a bit quirky at night. They have as Phone Guy explains, they have something in their software where if they see a human, they think it's an animatronic endoskeleton that is not in their suit.
Trying to stuff in their suit.
Yeah, so they'll think that you're not in your suit and they take you and they stuff you in a suit. And that's kind of like, you have to keep them out with the doors and checking the lights, and Foxy comes running out trying to touch you. And
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, that's Foxy for you. But that's what happens. So the main animatronics are Foxy, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and Golden Freddy. But he's like an Easter egg. And Golden Freddy appears sometimes in your office, and then he's like says like it's me, and it's like weird shit. But anyway, so that's FNAF 1, pretty much gameplay wise. So also in FNAF 1, there are posters that show up sometimes that talk about a incident where 5 children went missing and they never found their bodies, and there's a lot of conversation about the animatronic characters smell bad. And basically what was interpreted from that game is that there was somebody who killed 5 children and stuffed their bodies into the suits of the animatronics. So like the Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. But Golden Freddy's a weird thing because Golden Freddy is like a spring lock suit, which we'll get into a little bit more in FNAF 3, but he doesn't have, like when he's in suit mode, that's why he's slouched over in a Sprite, because he's in suit mode and he doesn't have the mechanisms or abilities to actually stand up and walk around like the other animatronics. So the spirit that's in him, or the child's dead body that got shoved into Golden Freddy, is mad. Because obviously it can't move like the other animatronics. So now also in FNAF 1, we've established that the year that FNAF 1 takes place is sometime in like the I think it's the 80s. It's like the 80s or like the early 90s, and we've deciphered this from the paycheck and all of that stuff. There are 2 years that are very important, which is 1983 and 1987. FNAF 1 could be open in 1987, but at the same time, the first game takes place a little bit after that. It's not 1987 in that game particularly, because FNAF 2 takes place in 1987, and that we'll get into in a second, but that's basically the first game only really had that much lore. And there was like instances where you would see posters that could show up on the wall that had like crying children on them, and that kind of started there. And Phone Guy was there, and he like maybe died on night 4, but we don't really know. It's like a weird call that he has where he's like
really awkward and not comfortable.
Yeah, and then you hear like the animatronics and Freddy's like Torador March or whatever playing. Yeah, exactly. FNAF lore is sobering you up. You need more liquor.
I can feel myself.
You're like,
aging.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
I'm not gonna fall asleep.
My foot is numb. Is that bad? That's pretty much FNAF 1. There's not too much going on in FNAF 1 because it was the first game, so I don't think there was a lot of
really
like
ironed out lore because you didn't know if it was going to succeed or not.
Exactly. So there wasn't like crazy lore in it. FNAF 1's pretty straightforward. So we move into FNAF 2. And FNAF 2... FNAF 2 is one of my favorite FNAF games, so I don't know what you're smoking.
I was joking. What's this blush game very prominently displayed on your monitor?
Stop. We're not talking about...
Can decipher this.
We're not talking about blush right now. How about we stop looking at the games I have downloaded and continue this conversation? FNAF 2 comes out, and it showcases these new animatronics, the toy animatronics.
The toy version.
Yes, so we have Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. We don't have Toy Foxy, we have Mangle. The Mangle is what it's called. But it's essentially was supposed to be Toy Foxy, but people tore it apart and it kind of just became this thing. Mangle's a non-binary monarch. All of the kind of voice clips of Mangle in the actual game are like, it's trying to contact the police. Like it actually has like police codes and stuff like that in its garbled kind of mess. It's really weird. That's cool. But FNAF 2, when it came out, everybody thought it was obviously a sequel because they have the new animatronics and the old ones are like broken and stuff. You have the Withereds, which is Withered Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, which are like the original animatronics, but they're obviously broken. Like Bonnie has no face. It's kind of bad. Withered Chica has no arms, like it's stuff like that. Withered Freddy looks actually unchanged. I don't know, he's just kind of like, looks more like a crackhead. I don't know how to explain it. I think Withered Foxy's like missing an eye. It's a prequel, and it predates the first FNAF game. And Phone Guy explains this in one of the later calls, and he says like, I'm trying to remember now, I'm having a really bad memory if Phone Guy explains that somebody used one of the suits in FNAF 2 or if it was FNAF 3. I don't remember if that reveal came in FNAF 2, but he basically, I don't remember, it might have been FNAF 2, but he says that somebody used one of the yellow suits, and it's highly alluded that somebody put on one of the yellow suits and committed the missing children's incident, the MCI, the original 5 kids who went missing. So somebody put on a yellow suit and lured the kids into a back room. Yeah, but there's a reason William Afton killed the kids too. Like, he was just feeling a little quirky, like the animatronics. No. He's just having like a silly goofy moment and he just killed 5 children. No. There's an actual reason. But that doesn't come up until like FNAF 3 or 4, so let's slow down for a minute. Actually, no, that doesn't come up until Sister Location, so let's definitely slow down.
Can I have the key to the door?
No, you're stuck here until we're done. We're on FNAF 2! Some of the main things that happen in FNAF 2 is we obviously the withered animatronics. The toy animatronics have this security protocol that's explained, where they have facial recognition. So it will see people and it will be like you're a criminal. Okay. And then it will not attack you, but it will be no. The only animatronic that touches you is Foxy. Let's make that very clear. Balloon Boy is in FNAF 2. He sucks. I don't know what else to say.
The marionette is in FNAF 2.
Yes, we're gonna get there. The puppet is in FNAF 2. You are. I'm not even there yet. So the facial recognition, the toy animatronics have this. And in the first FNAF, it's kind of like, oh, they want to put you in an endoskeleton. And the second FNAF, it's like the same kind of thing, but it's a little bit different. And you have no doors in your office in the second FNAF, so you have to put on a Freddy mask so that they're like, oh, this is just Freddy. And then they leave you alone.
Freddy Fazbear.
Exactly. They go, yes, Freddy Fazbear, and then they leave you alone. So even Freddy does that, which I think is crazy, because like he would know, like if you're in the office,
maybe
disguise does you.
Maybe it's just respect.
That's what it is. He respects the security guard so much that he doesn't kill him because he looks like him. He's like, yo, this guy's got it going on. He's Freddy Fazbear, and he leaves him alone. So I didn't even mention this. The security guard in the first game is Mike Schmidt. In the second game, you play as this guy named Jeremy. Fitzgerald, I think. Reason that that's gonna become apparent later on. We're not there yet, but the Mike is very important to the lore. Mike Wazowski is very important to the FNAF lore. Okay. We're in FNAF 2, hanging out. Because we were the night guard again, Jeremy. My favorite night guard, by the way. Because back in the day, on Tumblr, people would draw art of him and he was so hot. He was the hottest night guard, in my opinion. The people would also draw a lot of ship art of him and Toy Bonnie, but I'm outing myself too much right now. Anyways, let's continue.
Yeah, you might want to stop the video there.
Let's continue. My favorite FNAF ship is Phone Guy and Purple Guy, by the way. That was a big thing back in the day. But Phone Guy, because you never saw these characters' faces, so Phone Guy, just his head was a phone. Like an old-timey, like, rotary phone. People who were on FNAF Tumblr back when these games came out know exactly what I'm talking about, and this part is just for them specifically. Stop putting your glasses on my microphone. We're trying to record. We're on FNAF 2. Let me explain, please.
That microphone is the next animatronic. It's the next big thing.
Shut the fuck up, please, for a second. Let me explain. You're the night guard again. We've established that. The animatronics are trying to get you. You put the mask on. But then there's stop laughing. I didn't even say anything. Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. I was molded by it.
I was molded by the goo, the fat.
I was molded by Faz goo. Anyways, FNAF 2 plays out pretty much like FNAF 1. You do your 5 nights. There's a 6th night and there's also night 7. There's 7 nights.
That's 7 nights.
I know. It's 7 nights at stupid.
Fucking idiots.
I know. No one can count in FNAF. There's 7 nights in FNAF. But some of the main points of FNAF 2 is like you learn from Phone Guy about the bite of 87.
Yeah, that's the thing. It took someone's frontal lobe off.
Yes, exactly. The bike of 87, if you will. And then, so that's a thing. The actual animatronic who caused the bite of 87 is, I don't even think we have a confirmation who did that. But one of the animatronics caused the bite of 87. A lot of people say that it might have been Mangle because their jump scare is like from the ceiling and it looks like they're biting your frontal lobe in the jump scare, but it's unconfirmed. So the animatronics don't have a free roam mode during the day, but at night they free roam around because they have to. Because
can they turn that off?
No, apparently not. Apparently you can't turn it off.
Let's kill him. Let's beat this guy's legs with hammers.
Yeah, let's just break all their kneecaps and they can't run around at night. That's how you solve FNAF. No more games after FNAF 2 when you just break Toy Bonnie's kneecaps, apparently. I don't know why we didn't try that. We were sitting in the office flashing a light around. Nobody tried to break their kneecaps.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Professor. Please continue. This appears to be me in a cowboy hat.
This appears to be me with a Freddy Fazbear mask. But, like, I think those are pretty much the only things that are, like, lore important in FNAF 2. Like, we found out the Withers are not actually from FNAF 1 because it's a prequel. The Withers are from Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, like, the first location, because there's a first location that we've never seen before. But then there's also Fredbear's Family Diner.
Oh.
And Fredbear's Family Diner has also not been in a game, but it's been discussed. Because there was a thing that back in the day when all these games came out, Scott Cawthon had 2 websites, and the source code used to talk to each other.
Oh, okay.
And in the source code of the websites, we found out a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure we found out most of the stuff about Freddy Freddy fuck. I don't even know.
Man.
Fredbear's Family Diner. That's what I was trying to say. So if we're talking about locations, we have Fredbear's Family Diner, the first FNAF location, which we've never seen in a game, and then we have the FNAF 2 location, and we have the FNAF 1 location. So there's a couple of different restaurants at play here.
Okay.
But so FNAF 2, like the thing is it introduces a couple of other characters because we get like the puppet, which I'll talk about in a second because that's a bit complicated. But there's also like Shadow Bonnie, which ends up coming back in FNAF 3, which is really weird, but it's just like this very random instance of like a Bonnie looking animatronic that's just all black with like white eyes that shows up in your office and doesn't do anything. And then there's Shadow Freddy, who's again just like a completely black silhouette of Freddy with like white eyes and white teeth, and he's just like a thing. And then we also have JJ's not important to the lore. It's just like Pink Balloon Boy. I don't really know what JJ does. Okay. She's just kind of there. She appears in your desk sometimes. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff with FNAF 2 that got rolled into the mix that's a little weird, but I think I've explained most of it. The puppet, though, is very important to this game, and the puppet is like this entity that doesn't get fooled by the mask. So it knows who you are. Even if you have the mask on, it knows, and it will attack you. And it's like, in the later games, I'll explain it as we get to like FNAF 6, for example, because more of that is explained there, but it's in a gift box. You have to play a music box to lull it to sleep, and it's not like the other animatronics. That's kind of what it's not like other girls.
I was gonna make that joke, but I was trying to lock in.
But that's pretty much like FNAF 2, and I was gonna say, like, in both games, at the end of the nights, you get fired for tampering with the animatronics.
Oh, I didn't know that's what happened to you.
Yeah, so in the first game, you get fired at the end of your 5 nights for tampering with the animatronics, and then FNAF 2, you also get fired for tampering the animatronics. Okay. But the thing is that when you get to your 6th night, you get fired as Jeremy, but your 7th night, you play as this guy named Fritz, and it's really weird because you only play as him at that one night, but then he gets fired after that one night. The FNAF 2 also, like, it had more lore, but it was still kind of like building up the lore. And actually, I forgot to mention this. FNAF 2 has these things that are like death mini games. So sometimes when you die, you get put into like an 8-bit Atari style mini game. Yeah, and there's a couple of different ones in FNAF 2, and one of them is you're Freddy and you're delivering cake to a bunch of kids, but then you witness the first instance of Purple Guy, and he's killing a child outside of the establishment. And he kills this child, and then they turn into like this gray crying child, and that's important. Another one of these mini games is you are the puppet, and you are basically taking the souls of children and giving them life through the animatronics. So you're like putting the animatronics, or you're putting the kids' souls into animatronics so they can live on. The other one is, I don't even know. The other one is called Foxy Go Go Go. And it's just Foxy, and he comes out of Pirate Cove and he runs over and he surprises kids, and then they're happy. But then the last time, the purple guy's there and he goes over and the kids are dead.
Oh, okay.
And that's pretty much that minigame. And then you have the Save Them minigame. That's the last one. And in the Save Them minigame, you play as Freddy, and the puppet lures you around the establishment, and you can find more dead children. So this is where stuff kind of gets a little weird, because it's like, the first game had the original missing children's incident where 5 kids got killed, but then in the second game, specifically in the Save Them minigame, you kind of see that there's 5, it's almost like there's 5 more children that got killed, but it's highly debated if it's 5 extra children or if it's the same 5 children. But like it's unconfirmed.
What are your theories?
Honestly, I'm more a part of the camp that it's not different kids, because there's multiple instances in the FNAF games where we have established names and lore for the original 5 animatronic, or like 5 kids that are put into the animatronics, and we never ever see these other 5 kids that apparently happened at FNAF 2. So I don't think there's an extra 5 kids. I think it's always just the same 5 kids that died. That's my own personal thought. Moving on to FNAF 3.
Yo.
Now FNAF 3 has our man, Springtrap.
AKA William Afton.
But it's Springtrap, you know, the hot one. I personally am more of a glitch trap enjoyer myself, but Springtrap's fine. Springtrap's okay. So FNAF 3 rolls around, and the year that FNAF 3 takes place is very ambiguous, because it's supposed to take place kind of after everything, like in the future. Because it's after all the Freddy's establishments closed down, and kind of everything is in the past with Five Nights at Freddy's, and they're building a horror attraction. And you play as a night guard in this horror attraction of FNAF 3. And basically what happened is the people who made this, it's like one of those haunted houses at like Canada's Wonderland and stuff like that, where you go through these different haunted houses and things jump out and scare you, and there's different rooms and stuff like that. But they found all these old relics from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzas, like back in the day and stuff. Like Chica's head is there, and like Foxy's head, and all this stuff.
Okay.
Ironically, this is the least scary game in the franchise. Like, by far. By far, it's the least scary game in the franchise. But what ends up happening is you don't have Phone Guy anymore. He's Phone Dude. And he tells you, he's like, oh, we've opened this establishment. It's going to be scary. And you're going to play the role as the security guard as a part of the attraction. But also you're going to make sure that nobody's making out in the corner. That's an actual line from the fucking game. So that's your job as the security guard. Also, we talked about who you play as in these different games. You play as Mike again in this game.
Okay.
But Mike's lore gets very complicated.
As much of the lore.
Because there's Purple Guy, but then there's other Purple Guy. There's 2 Purple Guys. I don't know if you knew that. There are 2 Purple Guys. So one's actually purple, and then one is William Afton. Right. So there's different. But for now, we play as Mike again in this game. On the second night of you being in this place, they say like, oh, we found a real animatronic in like a safe room in the back of Freddy's. And we brought it here for you guys. So that's what happened. They brought this thing here, and it's our boy, Springtrap. And he's there, and he's like, I'm gonna touch you now. So you have to make sure he doesn't. But anyways. Or you could let him. I don't know how you roll.
Right.
So anyways. So Springtrap at this point, back in the day, Fredbear's Family Diner, we talked about this.
Yeah.
There were 2 animatronics. There was Golden Freddy, or Fredbear, and then Golden Bonnie, who is Springtrap. He's a yellow Bonnie costume. And this game also goes back to FNAF 2. I think it is FNAF 2, where they're like, somebody used one of the suits. It was a yellow one, and they like killed someone. And everybody thought it was kind of Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's Springtrap. It's Golden Bonnie.
Right.
And Springtrap is Golden Bonnie, but inside of him is William Afton. It's a purple guy. As you play FNAF 3, you unlock these mini games after each night where the purple guy tears you apart, basically. You play as different animatronics, and the purple guy like rips you apart. He touches you. This is what we talked about. And he rips you apart. But he goes and he's destroying all the animatronics.
Right.
He's ripping them apart.
Well, why is he doing that? What the heck?
Well, because he's like crazy. He's unwell. He's doing that.
He's overstimulated.
He wants a fursuit, and he's taking the pieces. That's what's happening. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway.
Star Fox cosplay.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Star Fox fan. That's established in the lore. At the end, instead of playing as one of the animatronics, my bad, sorry. Instead of playing as one of the animatronics, play as a crying child. And you go through the establishment, and then you are able to access the safe room. And what the safe room is that there's a room in every Freddy Fazbear's Pizza where the animatronics don't have programming to actually go in there. So like you can go in there and the animatronics can't follow you. It's very important because it's like it's where they found the Spring Bonnie suit, is in the safe room. And when you play these mini games at the end of the night, it ends because you're trying to get into that room but you can't. And then purple guy comes out of that room and he touches you.
Yeah.
So when you play as a crying child, though, or like this crying child, not the crying child, that's a different guy. But when you play as a crying child, you can go into this room, and purple guy is in there. And purple guy, he's either scared. I don't know what emotion he's feeling, because these are 8-bit mini games too, so you don't know. He just has like a face. I don't know. But he sees the crying children, and there's 5 of them. Again, the MCI, the Missing Children's Incident. There's 5 of them. They show up and they scare him, and they're like, "Boo! You killed us."
Yeah.
And then he freaks out and he hides in his Bonnie suit. Presumably what he used to actually lure the children into the back. But the Bonnie suit is a special suit. And this suit is explained in FNAF 3 because Phone Guy's recordings are there. And he's telling the player like how these spring suits work. And they're called spring lock suits. And basically they function as both an animatronic and a suit.
Right.
But there's spring locks in them. So you kind of have to... I don't know what spring locks are. Don't ask me what that means. It's just a thing. It's locks that have spring. I don't know. Everybody's just accepted that that's a thing. So yeah, so the suit has these The suit has these mechanisms in them that you can push aside so that the animatronic bits are to the side, and then you can put it on and you can be like a furry.
Yeah.
And William Afton is obviously, he's a part of the bad side of the furry fandom, and he kills children. So he put this spring lock suit, because it's a suit and also a costume, and he put it on. But the spring locks, as Phone Guy explains, are very temperamental. So if they get too wet, or if you move too much or something, they will snap shut, and they'll like get on you, you know what I mean? In the FNAF 3, in these mini games, at the end, purple guy goes into this suit, and it's raining in the establishment because the roof is broken. I don't know. This is something happened.
I don't know. I haven't played the game.
And yeah, the Knights have 5'd or whatever. I've never played the game. The Freddy has Fazbear, and I've never played the game. But no, so the rain, the moisture makes the suit snap on him, and he dies there in the suit. And this is where things get a little complicated in FNAF 3, is because thus far we've kind of known like, okay, if you die in one of these suits, or like for the Missing Children's Incident, you get shoved in one of these suits, you possess it. But it's not that. It's not possession. It's remnant.
Right.
And remnant is like this soul metal. It's this metal that can basically capture a soul in it, so you can live on through this metal. And William Afton, as we find out in Sister Location, for example, is experimenting with this metal. Whatever, we're gonna get to that in Sister Location. I'm not gonna talk about it right now. But you need to know what a basic understanding is. It's not the souls are possessing these suits, it's like the metal that they're made of. Yeah. William Afton dies in that suit. He's back in FNAF, whatever, and the jump scares of FNAF 3 are butt ass. They suck. And it's just like, he kind of like, hello. He just like walks in. But the people think there's a reason, and it's because you play as Mike again in that game. And Mike, it's Michael Afton. He's William's son.
Right.
who is what's his face in the movies? What's his name? Peter Malark. That's not his name. Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson, that's his name. He's in Hunger Games. I'm sorry. He's Peter Malark in my heart and soul. He's do you remember the whistle meme? It's like, can you blow? It was that picture of him with his arms up. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
But that's different. I don't know what I'm talking about the movies. The movie's different canonicity. Purple guy. He's sexy. I don't know why I keep saying characters in this franchise are sexy. Can I do top 5 sexiest FNAF characters real quick?
Yes.
Okay, the number 5 is Jeremy Fitzgerald, Tumblr sexy man. Everybody drew him with curly hair. It was a game changer. Number 4 is Glitch Trap.
Yo.
Glitch Trap is hot. He looks a little weird. He has like crazy eyes. I don't know, something about him. Maybe it's like his like slutty vest. Did he wear?
I think you were far too drunk.
That's number 4. Number 3, purple guy's pretty hot. He is. Like there's a subsection of people who are like murderers, and like I understand it to an extent. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Number 2, I don't know. I like Toy Bonnie, but I mean, I don't know if I don't know if that's a hot take. Number 1, Glamrock Freddy, by far. Objectively, Glamrock Freddy might be the hottest character to come out of this franchise. Are you kidding me? Have you seen him? You're not saying anything, but you're agreeing. He's nodding in real life chat.
I'm shaking my head.
No, he's
Don't believe
agrees.
this charlatan.
Glamrock Freddy. What? He has an earring. He's buff. He's also Michael Afton, but we're not there yet.
I tried to break my own neck, but it's not working.
Why do you not agree with this? He calls you his superstar. I don't know what else you want in a man. Okay, what's your list? There you go. Top 5 hottest FNAF characters. Go.
I can't do that. I don't really want this.
Top 1 hottest FNAF character. Go. You're gonna say Toy Chica, and
Roxanne
everybody's.
Wolf.
Okay, well that's. Anyways, let's continue.
Yes.
What was I talking? Oh yeah, FNAF 3.
Fucking you derailed this whole video.
So, outside of William Afternoon being in the Springhawk suit, FNAF 3 also has the first instance of like different endings, because you get the good ending and the bad ending. And then the bad ending is you just play the game normal. If you play the game like a normal person, you've fucked up. You didn't do it correctly. You've completely fucked up.
How foolish.
Yeah, so when you play FNAF 3, you have to do these mini games. And if you go, you know those the 8-bit mini games after each night?
Foxy Run and all
No, that's FNAF 2.
Oh.
You're not paying attention. FNAF 3 is what I'm talking about. Fazbear Frights, I think is what it's called. That's not what it's called. That's the novels. Is it called Fazbear Frights in FNAF 3?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't remember. What the fuck? Is it Fazbear? Whoa, wait. If it's Fazbear Frights, that's crazy. It is Fazbear Frights.
Oh, shit.
What? That's because that's the novels. Not the novels. That's the books. It's Fazbear Fright. Whoa. I didn't know that. Has anyone ever established this? That the Frights books have the same name as the horror attraction in FNAF 3? Get this on MatPat's desk. He's retired, but get this on Dawko's desk. Get this on FNAF's desk. John from FNAF. Somebody tell him. He'll cook up a theory. Okay, anyways, regardless of that. What the fuck was I talking about?
You're talking about how the good.
Oh, the mini game. So after the nights when you do the mini games, there's a secret hallway, and it tells you hints on how to do these mini games in the game to get the good ending. And there's different ones, and you have to like collect cupcakes in the overworld. At one point, you have to press the certain buttons on the arcade machine and the one camera at one point, and you have to like do these things. The worst one is you have to punch a sequence of numbers into the tiles on the wall on your office.
Ew.
And it's the worst shit ever. The worst shit to come out of this franchise, because what the fuck is that? I remember playing this game with a friend. I played it with this friend.
I think you mentioned that before.
And I was like, no, listen, dude, you have to punch in these numbers on this fucking tiles on your office. And she was like, you're on crack. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I promise. I'm like, listen to me. I've studied the lore. I've watched the game theory. And then I did it, and she was like, holy fuck. So when you do these minigames, because it's not just doing the minigames, you also have to find secret exits in the minigames. The secret exits and the secret minigames. So but there's a Balloon Boy minigame, there's a Mangle minigame, and there's a Chica minigame. Chica's Party World or something. I don't know, she's delivering her cake to people. Toy Chica's delivering her ass. Mangle is like flying, collecting her pieces because she's been torn apart. And then Balloon Boy is just like collecting balloons because he's a dumbass. So anyways, he goes and he collects this shit. But you have to find secret exits too. And the secret exits are weird, and there's like weird shit. And oh, the last minigame, you play as Shadow Bonnie, and he can teleport between the other minigames. And all these minigames, you also play as Fredbear in one, and you're on stage with Spring Bonnie, or Golden Bonnie, or whatever the fuck his name is at this point.
Yeah.
And you're like, have to glitch through a wall. And then everybody in these games gives a cake to a crying child, the 5 children again.
Okay.
Because they never got their birthday cake because they fucking got killed. Well, when you do that, you get the good end. And the difference between the bad and the good ending is the bad ending. You see the spirits linger on in the masks of these characters because their eyes are shining in the end. But the good ending, there's no more lights. So that means they've moved on to the afterlife. So you set their souls free. Maybe. I don't know at this point. You did, but you also didn't at the same time. And then when you get that ending, or you get any endings, Fazbear Frights burns down to the ground. And it kills everybody inside.
Alright.
Or so we thought. Because if you brighten up the image, you can see Springtrap in the background. So he survived. Because that's the thing about Remnant, is you can destroy it with fire. That's established. You kill it with fire and it goes away.
Okay.
FNAF 4. Well, let's move on to FNAF
Alright.
4. FNAF 4 is a weird one. I don't even know how I want to approach this. It's in the mind of the crying child.
Right.
Who actually recently, we've kind of established his name is David. His brother is Michael Afton.
Oh.
Our hot slut.
I think this video needs to end.
No, I need to get through this. If FNAF 4 doesn't have... You're not in a pizzeria. You're just a kid in his bedroom. And he has 2 doors in his bedroom for some reason. I don't know what the fuck kind of bedroom that is. It's the stupidest shit ever.
Weird ass hallway bedroom.
Like, forget about blood memories and a time-traveling ball pit. This is the stupidest shit in the entire franchise. Is 2 doors in your bedroom. And you play as this guy. And he's like a kid. This child. The crying child. Because he cries in the game.
Yeah.
Because he's a little baby man. And he cries because his brother jumps out from his bed with a Foxy mask on, and he's like so that's a thing. And you play as him, and he at nighttime he has these nightmares of these animatronics that are Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, but they're nightmarish. So they have like sharp teeth and sharp claws and the shit.
They look fucked, yeah.
Yeah, they look pretty fucked. In the game, you have to kind of like run to the doors and close the doors and close your closet because you're gay and you don't want to open it, you know.
Okay.
And then you go to the doors, and sometimes the animatronics kill you, sometimes they don't. But the overall plot is played out through 8-bit minigames, as we know happens in FNAF. And the crying child, you go through his day-to-day, and he's having a birthday party. He's having a party at the end of the week. And when you go through his day, you go to Freddy's, you're in your house, and you find Mangle in your house, which is really weird. Yeah. It's just like tore apart in the one room. You find a TV program that's like Fazbear and Friends 1983, which brings us to 1983, right? This is like the year that everyone thinks this game happened. As you go through the game and you go through the nights, you find out the story here is that the kid you play as, the crying child, is his brother who wears a Foxy mask, and his brother's friends who wear masks of the other core 4 animatronics, the Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, you know. They take the crying child and they're like, huh, you're a little baby man, and they put him in the mouth of Fredbear, or Golden Freddy. And the crying child's crying. And as established...
make the water long.
Yeah, because as established, the Spring Bonnie and Freddy, they have spring lock suits, so it gets his head and it bites his frontal lobe. Which at the time, everyone thought it was the bite of 87. But this is not. This is the chomp of 83. They're different. They're different. The chomp of 83 happened to the crying child, and the bite of 87 presumably happened to Jeremy from FNAF 2.
Right.
But the chomp of 83 is this: Freddy bites the crying child's head, and his brother is like, holy fuck, why did I do that? Crying child ends up in the hospital. In FNAF 4, you can see IV bags and flowers and stuff appear at his bed, so this like nightmare animatronics are kind of just like his comatose dream.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, because that's what it's inferred to. On night whatever, instead of the animatronics, you get Nightmare Fredbear, and it's this animatronic that has a mouth in his stomach, and he's all fucked up, but he's Fredbear because you play as the crying child, and he's afraid of this thing because it bit his head, right? And throughout the whole game, he has this guy, this plushie of Fredbear, and it's psychic friend Fredbear, as Matt Pat calls him, because he can talk. Right. And he goes, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psychic friend Fredbear. That's a thing from Matt Pat's videos. The psychic Fredbear guy, he's like telling the crying child, he's like, listen, like, I'm still your friend, all this stuff. One of the main lines he says is, I will put you back together.
Okay.
And it's heavily inferred because there's another layer to this where like all the text that the Fredbear says is in one specific color, and it's like a hexadecimal code of like one specific color. But then when he says, I will put you back together, it's a different color.
Okay.
So it's a different character speaking. Also in this game, I forgot to say, there's like a cutscene that you can get where in the mini games, you're the crying child and you see the purple guy in a spring Bonnie costume. So that's where that got confirmed. But this whole I will put you back together, when this is happening, you hear like a flat line. So the crying child has died at this point. And that's kind of where this game ends. So at this point, we have a couple characters in the mix. We have purple guy, we have the crying child, and we have Michael.
Right.
As we continue, we learn that the crying child is the son of William Afton. Michael is the son of William Afton. And after FNAF 4, we get into Sister Location. In Sister Location has Elizabeth Afton, who's another kid of William. And Sister Location is just literally that. It's the location of the sister of Michael and the crying child, right? It's Elizabeth Afton. It's kind of weird because where we got these names, like William Afton and all of that and stuff, we got it from the novels that came out around this time, which is the Silver Eyes trilogy. And in the Silver Eyes, we follow a girl named Charlie, whose dad is this guy named Henry. And Henry created Freddy Fazbear.
Oh, okay.
And William Afton worked with him to create Freddy Fazbear and like Fredbear's Family Diner and all that stuff. But Henry was always more of the creative person, and William was like the business guy.
Okay.
But William, after losing his son, the crying child in that incident, kind of became more invested in creating these animatronics, and he discovered Remnant, which is something we talked about. And he made the characters in the Sister Location. So that's Baby, Ballora, Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Foxy.
Okay.
That Sister Location. And those were all Afton's animatronics. Right. And he like made them specifically to capture children. That was like a thing he did. Because his son has died at this moment. And that line, I will put you back together, everyone kind of assumes that it was William actually talking. And not Fredbear. Because Fredbear's not putting shit back together. You know what I mean? Yeah. The William is the one who's doing it. Because he's the father. And he's like, oh, my son has died. I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna build him as a robot. Because I'm the man. I don't know. So he builds these animatronics that basically lure and capture kids. And this is something that's explained in FNAF 6. Okay. Mostly. Funtime Freddy has this like voice mimic software, and so do some of the other animatronics, and they can lure children, and they have like Funtime Freddy has a stomach hatch that can carry a kid in it. But yeah, this is a big thing. And then Baby is there, and Baby's like the main bad guy. She's nuts. But it's because she like, when she was made, because they were made to capture kids. And so William's daughter, Elizabeth, was like, oh, Baby's pretty chill. I want to go see her. And William, because he obviously made them to capture kids, he was like, don't do that because that's bad. Yeah. And then Elizabeth's like, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to go see him. Or her.
I remember this.
And then Baby's like, do you want ice cream? And then she kills her.
Yeah.
She, like, claws her face and, like, pulls her in. And then Elizabeth is dead. But also, because William's been experimenting with Remnant, which we talked about, Elizabeth is trapped inside the body of Baby now.
Yep.
So that's kind of sister location is that. So Baby is Elizabeth. Now, the thing with these Funtime animatronics is that we've established that because they were made to lure and capture kids, they probably have kids' souls inside of them with the Remnant, because William Afton made them with Remnant.
Yeah.
Because of this, they kind of want to escape because they've been in this underground bunker for like ever. And they're like, they don't want to be there anymore, obviously, because they're like people, I guess. They're kids. They don't want to be there anymore. So William basically tells his son, he tells Michael, he's like, yo, go find your sister because she's in this fucking underground thing.
Right.
And you need to go save her. So Michael goes down and he's like, okay, fine. I guess I'll try to save my sister who's in this animatronic clown girl, who Baby is 7 feet tall.
Oh god. Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
No,
She's
I did not.
7 feet tall.
Okay.
It's kind of
She
nuts.
Big. She big.
She's nuts. I don't know why she's 7 feet tall.
That is
but
kinda
she
fucking
just
insane.
is. So Michael goes down and he's like, I'm gonna find her. And Baby starts talking to him, and Baby's telling him like, oh, you know, like at one point I was alone with your sister and I fucking grabbed her. And then she's like, you know, this shit happens. And that's kind of it. And then Michael's like, okay. So then Michael's like, I'm going to try to save these guys. But there's multiple endings in Sister Location 2.
Okay.
But the canon ending is the scooper.
Okay.
And the scooper is this thing where
it
like scoops out your insides. Yeah. But it also it can do remnant shit. It can do crazy remnant shit. Michael can never die now. He's immortal.
Okay.
And what happens is all the people from sister locations, so like Baby, Ballora, Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Foxy, because they're spirits of other kids, they want to escape.
Right.
And they're like, we can't escape if we look like 7-foot clown robots.
Right, yeah, obviously.
So they're like, we're going to use your body and we're going to escape. So they scoop out Michael. And then they create this thing. Yeah, I'm like, they create this thing called Ennard, which is like all of them.
Yeah.
And they go into Michael.
Doesn't he
with no consent.
Fucked up kind of shambling
Unconsensually,
corpse.
they go into Michael.
Yeah.
And then he's just like this guy.
It's fucked up shambling corpse.
And then, and he turns purple. That's the second purple guy. There's purple guy, William Afton, metaphorical. And then there's real purple guy, Michael Afton. He's actually purple because he's a rotting corpse. Yeah, exactly. You know this. So then they escape through Michael.
Right.
But after a certain point, obviously Michael's body is not great. So they escape from him. He kind of like barfs them out.
Right.
And he wakes up and he's like, why the fuck am I alive still? I shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be.
Because robot spaghetti just flew out of me.
And I've been fucking shambling corpse for like 6 weeks or whatever.
Exactly. So he's like confused. So at this point, there's I don't know what FNAF game this is in, but one of the FNAF games, there's like a cutscene where Michael's like, hey, father, William Afton. I went to sister location, I found Elizabeth, and she thought I was you. So they took over my body, and they used me to escape, but also I'm still alive and I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And then in that cutscene, you see Springtrap kind of come to life. So it's because Michael says, I'm going to come find you, and then you see Springtrap. So that's why we know he's in FNAF 3. So Michael's kind of like an immortal purple corpse.
Okay.
William is in Springtrap. The circus baby animatronics are in this like Ennard thing.
Okay.
And we still have the puppet, because the puppet kind of, we don't know what happened. Because in FNAF 3, we set Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy free, but the puppet was not there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So those are our remaining characters. Moving into Pizzeria Sim, or FNAF 6. So FNAF 6, my favorite FNAF game, by the way. It's so good.
I know.
And during the time that FNAF 6 came out, sister location, between those periods, the websites, again, Scott Cawthon's websites were kind of going back and forth. And in those back and forth conversations, we found out that Ennard, which was all like Baby, Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, they got into an argument at one point.
Alright.
And they kicked Baby out of Ennard. So Baby was her own thing, and then the Funtimes in Ballora were still like an Ennard thing. But what ended up happening is they became Molten Freddy, which is in Pizzeria Sim, and then Baby was her own thing, And then we have Springtrap, because he's still alive, because he didn't fully die in FNAF 3. And then we have the puppet, which is Lefty, which you knew Lefty. But Lefty was an animatronic designed specifically to lure. What does Lefty stand for? It's lure, encapsulate, something, something. Like the letters stand for to lure the puppet. That's what it was designed for. So the puppet's in Lefty. So that's who we have left. Little side tangent, because FNAF World I forgot about. But FNAF World kind of tells a story between FNAF 4 and Sister Location where, because in the books we found out about Henry.
Yeah.
Who is Charlie's dad, and Charlie is presumably the soul that's in the puppet. She died, because with the puppet, I didn't really touch on this, but the puppet is the first victim of William Afton.
Okay.
So he killed her. In that minigame where Freddy is delivering the pizzas, or the cakes or whatever, and, you know, Purple Guy shows up and kills someone outside the restaurant, that's Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the puppet at that point. So in FNAF World, there's a couple of weird things in FNAF World, but the main things I want to talk about, because there's a lot, Henry is presumably the one who creates Baby. Because Henry's always been the one who kind of creates the animatronics, but William is the one who's like the business guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
William basically kind of tells Henry, like, hey, you should make, like, Baby as an animatronic. So he does, but it's a mistake, because Baby's kind of, like, evil, because she lures and captures children. He, like, dies.
Oh,
but he basically tells Baby to kill him in that moment in FNAF World. It's kind of weird. But also in FNAF World, you meet this guy, Old Man Consequences. And it's like, because FNAF World, you can travel deep into layers of the game if you do a bunch of like weird shit, and then if you go too far, because it's been established like you're not supposed to go too far into these different layers in the world, but if you do go too far, you meet this like orange guy who's sitting at a pond and he's fishing, and he's like, dude, you went too far, you're stuck here now. So like these are the consequences of your own actions. It's Old Man Consequences, that's who he is. And you basically get stuck there if you go too far in this thing, but at the same time you can drown yourself in this lake, and then this picture shows up of like this figure holding two kids. It's really weird. I don't think anybody has a concrete reason why that happens.
Okay.
I don't even really know what that means. It might be like William being like, these are my two sons. The one died because animatronic bite, and the other one is like a zombie now, basically. Like, I don't really know what it means. I don't really know. I don't know. It's a thing that happens. But also in FNAF World, it's shown to be a thing where you are basically setting up the minigames for FNAF 3.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you put Balloon Boy in the minigame, you put the cakes in the one minigame, you do these things. So you're setting up these minigames for FNAF 3 to get the good ending. So it's weird, because it's like, why is FNAF World doing this? But it's like you're setting up pieces to get a good ending to free these spirits within the game of FNAF World.
Right.
Which is really weird, but it's something that happens, and I just want to touch on it. But going back to Pizzeria Sim as a whole is like Henry, who we've established, the father of Charlie. He worked with William. You know that.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a little confusing. So Henry made this pizzeria place because you are a person who buys a Freddy Fazbear franchise package in Pizzeria Sim.
Right.
And you buy this franchise, and at the end of every shift, it kind of happens where random animatronics will show up, and these random animatronics are Molten Freddy, Baby, but it's Scrap Baby because she's kind of put garbage on herself because she got kicked out of Ennard.
Right.
Molten Freddy is Ennard, so that's Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and like Bon Bon, kind of. It's really weird. Candy Cadet kind of says that it's like 5 things merged into one.
Okay.
Candy Cadet is a character who tells stories in Pizzeria Sim, and all of his stories have a theme where it's supposed to be like 5 things melted into one thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's presumably what Molten Freddy is. And then we have Lefty, who's the puppet, and then Springtrap. At the end of every shift in Pizzeria Sim, one of these animatronics shows up in like the back alley, and you have to basically take them in.
Okay.
And bring them all to this pizzeria.
Yeah, I remember the gameplay.
Yeah, and since you brought them all there, Henry has this tape recording where he's like, I've brought all of you here to burn you, because you're all filled with remnant, and I want to set all of your souls free. You know what I mean? So he's like, I brought all of you here to do this, but then your player character is also Michael Afton. Because he says, like, the player who's here, you probably want to actually be here. He's like, this wasn't really meant for you as a job listing, but I think you actually sought out for it because you also are filled with remnant from sister location.
Right.
So he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill everybody now. And everyone dies. And like, there's a lot of stuff because there's also some mini games like Midnight Motorist is in FNAF 6. I have no fucking idea what that game is. I've tried my absolute hardest to understand what Midnight Motorist is telling anybody, and I have no clue. I have no clue.
Complete bullshit.
The Midnight Motorist as a game, you play as William Afton. You drive off the road. You go to a bar called Junior's, and they're like, we don't want your kind here. And it's really weird.
What?
And then you drive home, and then you go home, and there's like some gray lump sitting on the couch, and it's like, you've bothered him too much today, and don't bother him again. And then William Afton goes outside, and he's like, oh, someone broke out of this window and went to Freddy's. And then it just ends. I do not understand.
What?
And there's like a part in the game where you can go to a clearing and there's just like a mound of dirt. Okay. I don't know why. It's like a secret thing and it's just like a grave.
Okay.
I don't know. And there's animatronic footprints that are outside of like the house where he's like, oh, the window's broken. Somebody went to Freddy's and there's like these footprints there. And it just ends. I do not understand Midnight Motorist. Like, when I die, if I have one question, I will ask God. It's gonna be, what the fuck is up with Midnight Motorist? Because I do not understand. I don't understand what it means. I've tried my hardest. I even brought it up in the Reddit post that I have that's in a fucking game theory video that Matt Pat talked about. I said, this looks like Midnight Motorist, and he was like, yeah, it does. And he didn't say anything about it. He didn't say a fucking word about it. He was just like, yeah, that sure is Midnight Motorist. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
That's fucking
I'm like,
funny.
I don't know. I've had sleepless nights with Midnight Motorist, and I don't understand it. I don't know what it's supposed to mean.
Right.
And like, I've seen theories where it's like the mound of dirt is like a dog that William killed and he put in Mangle, because that's a thing that's been theorized, that Mangle's a dog. Okay. Because in FNAF 6 too, there's a mini game where it's a fruity maze, not to be confused with gay maze, which is the worst version of mayonnaise ever.
Right.
But no, fruity maze is like, you play as this girl. And then when you get to a certain point in the game, William Afton or like Spring Bonnie is there, and he's like, hey, get out of my sandwich. No. He's like, hey, I have your dog here. Because when you start playing Fruity Maze, it's like after a certain point, the fruit turns into a dead dog and like gravestones and flowers and stuff. Okay. And then you see this face of this girl flashing in the screen, and she's like crying, and she's like, Fido, my dog. And then Spring Bonnie's like, shut up, the dog is here, like it's alive still. And he lures the girl away. And that girl is Chica, by the way. She gets killed and she becomes Chica. Because Chica was the first. She's seen everything. That's a line that Chica has. Which is unfortunate, but it's a line she has. That's Fruity Maze, but like people said like, oh, and by people I mean FNAF, like John from FNAF, he made a theory recently actually where he's like, I think this might be the dog. Like, it makes sense, but also I fucking hate Midnight Motorist so much. It doesn't make any sense.
Hatred runs deep.
I don't know. There was a point in time where I thought Midnight Motorist was Into the Pit, and I thought like the kid from Midnight Motorist was Oswald and he was going to Jeff's Pizza. Like, that's where I was at like mentally, which doesn't make any sense. Midnight Motorist doesn't make any sense either. Why would he go to a bar and they'd be like, we don't want you here? What does that have to do with anything? Like, I'm genuinely like, and the bar's like Juniors. And people are like, that's FNAF 2. What does that mean? Why didn't they just say that's FNAF 2, not Juniors?
It's fucking fun.
What the fuck is Juniors?
Yeah, what the
I don't know. I hate Midnight Motorist so much. Like, as much as Fazgoo annoys me, Midnight Motorist might even be worse. I don't like Midnight Motorist. It's the worst shit. The two doors in the bedroom is probably still number one, but Midnight Motorist is right under that. I'm sorry. Let me move on. I'm tired of Midnight Motorist. So the last minigame that's in FNAF 6 or Pizzeria Sim. I'm just gonna call it FNAF 6 because that's what it is this game where it's security puppet, and it's the puppet from FNAF 2.
Oh, okay.
And you can see that this puppet was designed to protect a child wearing a green wristband. And when you play this mini game, you don't see anybody with a green wristband until like the last time you play it. I think you have to play it 3 times. And the kid with the green wristband is outside, and it's this little girl, green wristband. She's begging for help at this window. And the security puppet is inside, so he can't really help her. But he ends up going outside, and it's raining. And he slowly is malfunctioning because he's a robot and it's raining. Robots don't like water.
Yes.
That's established. That's Five Nights at Freddy's lore. That doesn't happen in any other series. It's just FNAF specifically that the robots don't like water.
Understood.
Yeah. It goes to find this green wristband wearing child, and she's dead in the alleyway.
This is the child William Afton killed?
Yeah, well, the security puppet goes and he kind of collapses beside her, and like they both die together. Okay. So there you go. There's Remnant. She's fused into that robot. That's Charlie. That's the puppet. That's who that is. That's what that is. And because she's killed outside, that's the first time we've seen somebody killed outside of a Fredbear establishment. But it matches that game where the purple guy rolls up outside and kills that kid where Freddy's delivering the cake or whatever from FNAF 2. So that's
okay,
Charlie.
That ties back, yeah.
And then we have Baby, who's who's Elizabeth Afton.
Right.
And then we have Bolton Freddy, who's those other souls from the fun times. And then we have William Afton himself. And then Michael, who's in the pizzeria. So it all burns down to the ground. And Henry, in his like little speech thing, he's like, oh, I hope everybody can be like free. And then he's like, William, I hope you fucking burn in hell. Like, he actually says that. That's canon. He says, William, you absolute cunt, I hope you burn in hell.
Right.
and then William's like, ugh, and then he dies. Everybody dies. And for the longest time, that's where FNAF ended. And we had Custom Night, Ultimate Custom Night. I almost forgot about Ultimate Custom Night. So unfortunately, that has lore. But Ultimate Custom Night lore is kind of smaller. To honestly, like, it's just like you're a guy, you're stuck in like an office, and you can. All the animatronics are there, like all of them. Even Old Man fucking Consequences is there, which is silly.
Oh, what the hell?
But Old Man Consequences is just like, oh, you should let this person rest. It's kind of weird, but it's because Ultimate Custom Night has 2 players in it. It has William Afton, who is who you play as, and all these animatronics coming and killing him is his personal hell.
Yeah, it makes
That's
sense.
what Custom Night is. The other thing in it is a bunch of the animatronics, when they kill you, they have these lines that say, like, this is from the one you should not have killed, and all this stuff. And you can hear this whispering in the background, and it's all, like, about the one you should not have killed. And you would think at this point that it's someone established, like Elizabeth or the crying child or
right.
Charlie, but it's not. It's somebody named Cassidy, who is Golden Freddy. Which we know Golden Freddy.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, so there's this other entity in Golden Freddy who is keeping William Afton alive or in purgatory and tormenting him for eternity. And that's what Custom Night is. Okay. That's basically Custom Night. There's other shit, because there's like Toy Chica, the high school years. I don't want to get into that.
Why?
Because it's really... It's just Toy Chica being like, I'm gonna date this guy and kill him. And that's basically Toy Chica. I don't know. And then there's this other one where it's like Freddy's samurai warrior guy. And he has like a rivalry with Foxy, and it's like an anime. It's so weird. I wish I was joking, but I'm not.
Oh my god.
That's an actual thing that exists in Custom Night. But the lore of that is very inconsequential. Like, there's not... I don't know. That's a very big word for me today. But yeah, I don't know. So that's Custom Night in a nutshell.
Alright.
That's kind of where the games ended. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, okay, this is it. Then Security Breach happened. Everyone's like, okay, this is Security Breach. It's a completely different thing. Oh, Help Wanted VR came out first. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Right.
But Help Wanted VR seemed to be a completely different thing. It was like, this is just the Five Nights at Freddy's games in VR. That's it. Unfortunately, there's lore in it, because at this point, after Custom Night, there was kind of like because Custom Night kind of ends the first bit of the story in a way, because the rest of it has the same characters, but it's different. But this starts a whole new era of the FNAF. So Help Wanted VR 1. Basic synopsis, you play as somebody who's testing a VR version of the FNAF game. But as you continue testing this, 1, you start seeing this entity that is, it seems to be William Afton's kind of golden Bonnie suit, which is Glitchtrap. Hottie. And Glitchtrap is like showing up, and what happens is he starts showing up when you start collecting these glitchy cassette tapes, which are recordings of this woman who is talking to you, and she's saying like documenting the development of the VR game. And she's like, listen, so the VR game is being developed, but while it's being developed, there's this guy. I think his name is also Jeremy, which is unfortunate because too many people are named Jeremy in this fucking series. Here's the thing with Jeremy. Jeremy is the night guard in FNAF 2. Jeremy is also the missing kid who died and is Bonnie. And then Jeremy is also the guy in VR. Yeah. And then there's a Jimmy in Security Breach. And there's another Jeremy in FNAF AR, I think. Which I'll go over, actually, let me just go over FNAF AR very quickly for you, because it's really stupid. FNAF AR is just like a phone game. Yeah, I heard about it. You get animatronics delivered to your house. And in FNAF AR, there are these email threads that happen, which have some lore in them, but it's basically just... Well, actually, no, I can't go over FNAF AR right now. I have to wait till fucking Security Breach. Okay, wait. Pause. Put a pin in that. Let me go back. So FNAF VR, this girl documenting the development. There's a guy, Jeremy. He's going a little crazy. He's going a little kooky. And he's like seeing Glitchtrap in the game. Glitchtrap is talking to him. After a certain point, Jeremy cuts his face off with a paper guillotine. Okay. That's something that happens. And the girl who's recording these tapes are like, I don't know what's going on. And it's really stupid. And then she's like, Jeremy didn't come to work today because he slice his face off, and that's really weird, but that's what happened. This girl does all these tapes, and she's like, I started seeing the entity, it's like this thing, it's talking to me, blah blah blah. And she says like what happened was Fazbear, like the company, gave them a bunch of circuit boards, and they told them to scan them into their game to help speed up the process with the development. But once they did that, this Glitchtrap entity started showing up. They tried to get it out of the game, and it's not getting out of the game, and it's just there. And she says, like, there's no way to get it out of the game. But then, on the last tape, she says there is a way to get it out of the game. You have to let it fuse with you. And then, like, press some buttons, and then it will be gone. That's not I'm like, clearly, this is a lie. But you, as the player character, because you have to assemble all the tapes, and she says, like, if you assemble all the tapes, then you're going to rebuild this entity, because she kind of fragmented it. But you already assembled them all. So you're kind of like, well, fuck me. It's already back. Yeah. So, at this point in the game, you can let Glitchtrap fuse with you. And if he fuses with you, you become locked behind a door, and he, like, tells you, like, shut up, bitch, and he, like, flies away. But then there's another situation where I guess you can, like, shut him out, and he doesn't really, but it's weird because every ending, he kind of leaves. And it's very widely inferred that he's infested your mind, and you are now Glitchtrap in some way. And Glitchtrap, by the way, it's hard to explain this because he's like, it's the consciousness of William Afton, but it's also not at the same time, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, just understand that it's a copy of William Afton. Okay. So he takes over you, and he's like, I'm gonna go kill the kid. After Help Wanted VR, the first one, we have Security Breach. And in between that, we have FNAF AR. At this point, the girl who made the tapes has a name now. Vanessa. Mm-hmm. That's her name. You know Vanessa. Yeah. Another baddie. Yes. So Vanessa shows up, and she's like, I am going to be a security guard for Security Breach, but at the same time, she was emailing this guy in the IT department named Lewis, and this was a big thing. These emails were in FNAF AR, and Lewis was telling her, like, hey, you're acting a little weird. You're, like, typing into Google, like, help me and all this weird stuff, and, like, you seem to be having these conversations with yourself, but it's not with yourself. It's almost like you're fighting in your brain with, like, things. And it turns out that she was infested with Glitchtrap, so she has him in her head. And Vanessa is Vanny. They're kind of, like, one and the same. And Vanny is obviously a Glitchtrap kind of, like, she's trying to be the new William Afton. Yeah. She can't be the new William Afton, though, because William Afton is a bad, but she's trying to be him. Bad duplicate, but whatever. She's trying to be William Afton, and she's trying to, like, kill a kid or whatever, and be like, I'm gonna kill someone. And she's like, whatever. With FNAF AR too, because there's a lot of emails in FNAF AR that is actually about, like, a package being delivered to the Pizzaplex. We haven't even touched on Gregory. Holy fuck, I don't know. I don't even know. With the Pizzaplex, there's a package that ends up getting delivered, and it's got like some technology in it, and it's a bit weird. And that ends up being the Mimic, which is the new bad guy. For the Mimic, it's like Glitch Trap is not William Afton. It's this software that was built to mimic stuff. It's an AI program, because AI is bad. That's what the new era of FNAF is like. AI is shit.
Yo.
It's gonna kill your children. That's true. That's a true fact. It's this AI that can mimic things, and it learns things, and what ends up happening is when they scan it into the games, it starts kind of learning William Afton's behavior. And it tries to take over Vanessa, and she's now infested with this virus, this mimic program. It's kind of weird because the books are very confusing at this point. And I wish I couldn't talk about the books, but the new game, The Secret of the Mimic, canonizes the guy who made the Mimic, whose name is Edwin Murray.
Oh, okay.
And he made the Mimic to be friends with his son, but then his son ran into traffic and he died because he's an idiot. He's like, oh, a car! And he just got hit by a car because he's stupid. And then his dad is like, oh, my boy! And then the Mimic is like, I'm gonna be his son now, and I'm gonna mimic his son. And then Edwin gets pissed off and beats him with a metal pipe. Yeah, best moment in FNAF. It's insane. But then Fazbear goes back because they're like, that's our software, when it's not, but they just want it because it's like, they're like AI artists. They're like, that's the future. And then they go and take it. The technicians at the Pizzaplex and Security Breach basically tell this Mimic program, like, hey, why don't you help us clean up by like taking apart these staff bots? So they tell it to rip the arms and heads off the staff bots to put it in the garbage, and then the Mimic program's like, okay, and it starts ripping the arms and heads off of real people.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna
happen. So that's the thing that happens. So the Mimic is at play, but there's two versions because there's the Glitch Trap Mimic program, and then there's the one who's actually an actual robot, which is what Edwin made, who's killing people. Gregory, I don't even know how he plays into the fucking lore. Everybody's always like, oh, GGY. GGY is a thing. GGY, because that's a book in the Tales from the Pizzaplex. It's like, he's evil, he's a robot, he's something. I don't fucking care. I'm so tired of Gregory as a character, honestly. Like, he's the main character of Security Breach. People think he's evil. People think he's a robot. People think he's this. I don't know. I don't understand Gregory as a person. He's just kind of there. Yeah. Maybe this is a hot take, but I just, like, GGY kind of infers that he's killing therapists, because that's another thing that's in Security Breach, because there's these tapes where it's like Vanessa talking to a therapist, and then another patient talking to a therapist, and the other patient is killing the therapist, but I made a theory about this on my YouTube channel, and I personally don't think that patient 46 is Gregory. I don't think it is. I know people are like, oh, GGY. I don't give a fuck. I'm really sorry. It's not, like, I understand GGY exists. I understand that that's a book that kind of tried to clarify the therapist stuff. It's probably canon. I just can't with it. Like, I understand it's probably canon. I understand that people believe it, and I totally get that. It's probably canon. I can't. It doesn't, like, it makes sense, but it also doesn't. It frustrates me. But anyways, Gregory's a guy, and he's going with Glamrock Freddy, and he's like, I'm gonna save, I don't know, what is Gregory doing in Security Breach? What is he doing? I don't know. He's not doing shit. He's not doing shit. He's just kind of, like, stuck there randomly, and he's like, oh, the door's closed. And then he's like, oh, Glamrock Freddy's gonna be my mech suit, and he's gonna help me traverse the Pizzaplex at night, and I'm gonna be a little shit, and I'm gonna break all the animatronics. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Gregory's just there, and he's like friends with Freddy, but he could also be a robot incarnation of the crying child. But we're not gonna get into that right now, because I don't have the brain power to get into that right now. But that's a possibility. But Glamrock Freddy is Michael Afton, which we've established, because when you get to the end of Security Breach, you find out underneath the Pizzaplex is the FNAF 6 location. That was supposed to be burned down, remember? Because Lefty was there, and Springtrap, and is that where, Michael, and... Because you end up traveling deep into the sinkhole in Roxy Raceway, and in that is the FNAF 6 location. Oh, okay. Which is presumably burned down, but it seems like the entities didn't actually die. Which annoys me, because it's like Henry made this place to kill everybody and be done with it, and then they're just like, hello, Mario. Like, they just show up. I don't know. They're just there again. But also, the ending where Springtrap comes back is not canon. Because Security Breach has, like, multiple endings as well.
Yeah.
But the canon one, I think, is the Princess Quest ending, where you save Vanessa so she's not under the control of Glitchtrap anymore.
Right.
And then Gregory, her, and the head of Glamrock Freddy escape, and they eat ice cream on a hill.
No.
So that's the thing that happens. So I think that's the canon ending. But then we get into Ruin, and it has Cassie, who's like Gregory's friend. And she shows up because Gregory's like, Cassie, I'm stuck in the sinkhole. And then Cassie's like, eh. And she has to go help him. And so she goes and she finds him. But at the same time, she puts on this mask, and it's the Vanny mask. It's the mask Vanny was wearing. So she picks up this mask, and it's like the same mask that Vanny wears. And it's like this augmented reality mask where she can like see a bunch of stuff that wasn't originally there.
Oh, like little fucking clues or just like
yeah, exactly. Okay. And like it's really weird because a lot of the stuff in the Pizzaplex doesn't actually seem to be real, but it's built into this network, this neural network. There's this other player named Mexis, who's this like security protocol that was built to keep the mimic trapped in the basement of the Pizzaplex. Because the Pizzaplex, unfortunately, it's like the Pizzaplex is the top layer, underneath is the FNAF 6 location, underneath that is sister location.
Okay.
So that's kind of because at the end of Ruin, you dive into sister location and the mimic is there, and the mimic is pretending to be Gregory, and he lured you there to like help him out because he was trapped behind like a cement wall and all these security protocols. So in Ruin, you have to breach the security. Like security breach, but it's the DLC. You breach the security, you actually end up releasing the mimic onto the world.
Oh, fuck.
And the mimic is like a very dangerous program. And Gregory, the real Gregory, calls you and is like, the fuck are you doing? He's like, you just released, like, basically this universe's eldritch horror monster on the world, and you shouldn't have done that. And Cassie's like, I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, I was trying to help you, I'm sorry. Gregory's like, well, you done fucked up. And he ends up, like, killing her at the end, by the way.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, because she tries to leave in an elevator, and he's like, we can't be followed. And he drops the elevator.
Okay.
So there's that. But then there's also an alternate ending in Ruin. I don't know which one is the canon ending, but there's an alternate ending where you lure the mimic into the scooping room from sister location and he gets scooped. But I don't think that's the canon one. I don't really know. I don't know at all. I don't know. That happens, and that's basically those two games, Security Breach and then Ruin as well.
Right.
And then Help Wanted VR 2 comes out, and that game you play as Cassie's father. And Cassie's father is a Fazbear technician. And the Fazbear technician is like playing these games to try to understand more of like his job and like kind of like figuring out stuff in the lore and stuff. Help Wanted VR is a fantastic game, by the way. I've never played it myself, but watching people play it, it looks like a fantastic game. I wish I had a VR headset, but I also feel like if I had one, I'd probably throw up. There's too much moving. Is too much going on. In that game, you learn more about the Vanny mask that you put on with the augmented reality. You learn that you are playing as Cassie's dad. But one of the biggest lore drops in that game is Cassie's dad was the kid who wore the Bonnie mask when that, like, because it was the foxy guy who was Michael Afton. Yeah. And he had his friends who were wearing all the different Fredbear masks. Okay. So the one with the Bonnie mask is Cassie's dad. So he was a part of the Chomp of 83. Right. So that's a big lore drop that's like, this happened, and this guy was involved in the original problem, you know what I mean? Yeah. And also at the end of Help Wanted 2, Cassie's dad gets kind of killed almost by Glitchtrap, and he gets put into the neural network of the Pizzaplex. So he's kind of gone. Yeah. And he actually is the one who gives Cassie the mask so she can see stuff in VR or AR or whatever. I guess, like, we didn't talk about the books, but, like, the books have a really weird canonicity to begin with because, like, even, like, Into the Pit, which has its own game now, but even that had, like, a bunch of weird shit with time travel, but it wasn't time travel. It was, like, blood memories that are on the balls in the ball pit. And it also introduces agony because there's Remnant, which is, like, an actual physical metal that souls can be attached to, but agony is a different thing that a scientist was investigating basically and researching, and it's like when people have intense agony, it can kind of possess stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's really weird. It's really hard to explain. It really is, but I'm not gonna go into detail with that, I don't think. I know it's like LOL Fazgoo, Mpreg, like MatPat, but these are all
That's
like
for
weird
another day.
stories. They're just weird stories, and it's like some of them do help us with the lore because like there's this one book that literally helped us confirm that Custom Night, Ultimate Custom Night, was someone keeping Afton in his own mind and like torturing him.
Okay.
So that was a book that happened. And then there's like the books have kind of established that Baby is the big bad of the whole series.
Oh, okay.
So that's a thing that happened in the books. I don't know, like the Into the Pit, the game, I want to touch on that slightly, but even though that's kind of a different continuity or something, the Oswald, like the main character you play as, when you go through the attic, a Freddy mask falls out.
Oh.
So we already have the Bonnie guy is Cassie's dad, so the Freddy guy is Oswald's dad.
Okay.
So all of these bullies that seem to have been involved with the Chomp of 83 are getting like connections to this world and this lore, I guess.
Right.
There was something I wanted to say, but I forgot. It was important. It was about... I don't remember what it was about. It was important lore, and I forgot. I'm too drunk to remember. I don't remember what it was.
With how much there is, I can't believe how much you remember off memory.
I know. This whole thing was off of memory. I swear to God, the only thing I looked up was if Scott Cawthon was a part of the whatever guy. Yeah, I didn't look up anything else. This is so unfortunate. Why do I know all of this information? Oh, I remember. I did actually remember. Security breach. I forgot to mention this. Where you find the therapy tapes is in a room that is... So, sister location, when Michael was done working, he went home and watched TV. The room that you find those tapes in about the therapy sessions is that room from sister location.
Oh, okay, shit.
I don't know why.
There's no explanation for it yet?
No.
Ooh.
There's a code in there that talks about something about like spirits or like the band or something. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. And then also Secrets of the Mimic is coming out in like 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks.
Oh wow, that's soon.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been like teaser trailers for that, and it's like Edwin Murray made a coffee pot that's named Stay Up Latte. That's what it's called, and it's just like now you can stay up late and die. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand. I think I'm done. I feel like I've talked for ages. What do you think of FNAF? Will you consider playing it in the future?
Fuck no.
Dude, I fucking hate Midnight Motorist so much.